question, totally off topic. Will you bring up the false final Arctic experiment that happened a few weeks ago? They were using a soundstage and many flat earth accounts show to be shills. I'm still fleshing out my ideas about this topic, and I didn't want to be one of these first people to roll out about it. But the one thing I want to talk about, like I saw Eric Dubay had a very interesting video showing the idea of how this could have been fake totally. Now, I'm not willing to go out there and say it was all fake. I don't know. Here's the things I have a problem with the final experiment. The main thing I have is if this guy Jaron and Witsit, if they said before they went, okay, so if there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, then I will change my mind. I will go from a flat earther to a ball earther, right? That's the final experiment. So if I see that, then I'm going to change my mind. According to both of those guys, they saw a 24-hour sun, and they have not changed their mind. Okay, so to me, then why did they go? Why did they go under that title of the final experiment? Because again, if they don't believe that it's a ball now, then why'd they even go? To me, it seems like for propaganda reasons. Now, but what I really want to focus on is the Austin Witsit. Austin Witsit. Witsit gets it. Or should I say Witsit vapes it? Did you guys see the video of him hitting the vape pen and then pretending it was his breath?
The footage is going to be of Austin Witsit, and everyone, we've all seen it. Here it is.
What's up now?
So look, he just faked his breath, right? So this is him when he's faking his breath. Watch carefully again and listen to what he says.
Here's a little breath. What's up now? You have to take like deeper breaths, and it sucks. It hurts your lungs. Okay.
Now he's walking off.
He's got his gloves on and he's walking.
Now he's walking off to go get the snow. I have another angle of this video. Someone sent it to me and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. So I'm going to bring it up right now. So remember, the video we just watched was Austin Witsit on his live, blowing out smoke, saying, oh look, there's breath. What now? And then he walks back like 5-10 feet or 20 yards to go get some snow. Here's the video from another angle. Watch carefully. We are exposing these devils. Watch him when he comes out. He is smoking a vape and blowing. He's smoking on the vape again. Watch. And now he gets in front of the camera, he blows out smoke, he's putting on his gloves, and that's when he says, what now? Then he's walking back to pick up snow. Why is he walking 20 yards over there to pick up snow, to come back to the camera and then put it down? Look at these sus movements. Let's go back. So remember, he did go and puff on his vape and then stand in front of the camera and lie and say it was his breath. There he is smoking the vape, then he takes a pull and he stands in front of the camera and blows it out. And then he's like, what now? There's breath. And now he's walking away to go get the snow. Now look at this. Can you see two different settings there? The only reason he walked over there to pick up snow because what he's standing on over here is not real, which is what I've been trying to say. So everyone get on the videos, analyze it, and let's rip these people apart. Right? There is a lot going on in this community right now, and we are going to get to the bottom of it. All the shills are getting exposed.
He was down in Antarctica, supposedly, and People are saying it doesn't look that cold. We can't see your breath. So then he goes off screen, shuts off his camera, and he comes back and he blows into the camera like he's showing his breath. But then people showed video later of him vaping, and it looked like he vaped. He sucked in the vape, put down the pen, and blew into the camera. And man, I heard him on a stream. I saw somebody sent me, my buddy Josh Monday sent me a video of him on a stream. Witsit was arguing with this other guy named Flatzoid, another flat earth guy, and he was arguing with him. And Austin Witsit sounded like the dog ate my homework. He was saying this guy was a liar for calling him out on this. He was saying that he didn't do that. Your lying eyes deceive you. Here's what Austin Witsit said.
I've also said that, yes, I did unexpectedly find a vape in my bag when I was traveling. That's because I used an old little bag I used for chargers, and it had a vape in there from way back in the day, because I did used to vape. I don't vape now. And so I did hit that vape a couple times when I was in Antarctica. But I did absolutely, objectively not hit a vape, walk over to the scene, to the screen, and then exhale it to fake my breath.
And to me, okay, before we get into that, here's what I think. That let's just say everything else was true about what they did there. The whole final experiment, there was a 24-hour sun. There was no green screens. It was they were actually there. Okay, so the fact that if Witsit pretended that his vapor from his vape pen was his breath to show that it was cold, to deceive people in that way, that I do not trust him after that. And no matter what he does going forward, unless I met him personally and I knew he had a change of himself, I would never trust that guy ever again. Like when you're in the position that kind of like somebody like me is in, I'm probably at the same level as him as far as like people who know me online. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not as big. I don't know. The point is that if you know that I knowingly tried to deceive you guys, you would have a reason to never trust me again. That's just the way it goes. So if you're doing things and you're putting yourself out there, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. So if he did that and people don't trust him anymore, then he should know that was always going to be the case. So that being said, so here's what he tried to say is, for one, he said that he did not fake his breath with the vape pen. But he did say this, and this is what I find, again, this is the dog ate my homework. He said he used to vape back in the day. So then he goes into Antarctica and he finds in his bag an old vape pen. And then while he's there, he used it a little bit, but not to fake his breath. Okay, so you follow what I'm saying? It's like, so this guy took a vape pen to Antarctica, his own vape pen. He quit, but he smoked it while he was down there, but not to fake his breath. Do you guys have kids? Have you ever heard your kids say something stupid like that? Like, would you ever trust your own child if they said that? You quit, but then you brought it to Antarctica accidentally. Like, so he didn't really pack. So did he not pack? Did he just throw stuff in a duffel bag and just not even look? You're going to Antarctica. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. He might be telling the truth, but I don't believe him. And I feel like I'm okay to say that I don't believe you anymore, dude. I said that is so stupid. And plus, it's like this guy is like trying to call people out, like using the Old Testament. He's trying to call people by the Old Testament, talking about bearing false witness. It's like, dude, nobody's bearing false witness against you. We don't believe you. So you're calling people liars who don't believe you. It's because we think you're a liar. You might be telling the truth, but trying to act all holy and mighty while you're vaping it down in Antarctica is dumb. Like, you should be embarrassed. And his main reason, he's like, no, I didn't blow out smoke on that live stream because I would never vape in front of everybody. But you did. The funny part is, like, you did vape in front of everybody. He said he wouldn't vape on camera. It's like, so you're trying to keep up certain appearances, right? Then, right, that's exactly what we're accusing you of. It's like that it looks like you tried to deceive people. Either it's a lie by omission because you're vaping while the cameras are not on, or you're vaping in order to deceive people into making you think like you can see your breath or whatever. Yeah, so when people say those people are shills and we don't trust them, there's a lot of reason to not trust those people. The guy Will Duffy, who's a pastor, I don't know how this could have been taken out of context, but I saw a clip. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this clip going around. So Pastor Will Duffy was a guy going down there, and he's a ball earther, and he was one of the people trying to prove the globe. He had this sermon where people cut out an excerpt of it where he was saying like that lying was okay sometimes. You guys can look it up. I mean, I'm not making this up. It's like being deceptive is okay sometimes. I mean, I'm not going to listen to this guy's whole sermon. I think it's ridiculous what he said. It's like, I don't know what kind of context he was going to try to imply that like that's okay in some kind of way. But it is interesting. So this guy's from the pulpit is saying it's okay to lie sometimes. And then we got Witsit vapes it, like just calling everybody a liar who doesn't agree with him. Yeah, there's a lot of reason to be skeptical about that. That being said, let's just go with the idea that there was a 24-hour sun. I've seen models, not the Glacier model, but I've seen certain flat earth models where you could have a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So the point being is the whole thing was a bunch of nonsense. The whole thing was it was a farce because, again, this is not the final experiment for anyone. Right? Right? Whether you believe it's flat or a ball, this is not the final experiment. So the whole thing was done under a guise of trying to potentially drive a wedge between certain people, maybe try to obviously to maybe discourage the whole community into looking into it any further because, they prop up Witsit as this master debater, and he's like going on there like proving the flat earth everywhere, and then he goes down to Antarctica and he looks like a moron. He looks like a moron when there's a 24-hour sun. He has no answer for it. He's goofing off with snow. Those guys are taking pictures without their shirts on, with their shirts off down there. It's supposed to be really cold. I mean, like, what's going on? The whole thing I found, it's a clown show. It's a circus down there. That's what I learned from the final experiment.